finally made it! This is always my favorite type of video to make. I'm really excited. This is my Appalachian Trail gear video. So a lot of this gear is going to be the same that I had on the PCT. There's a few changes here and there which I'm going to go through. I'll also link my post PCT video where you can hear me talk about some of this gear in more detail. I'm just going to get stuck in straight away with the big three. Let's start with the shelter. I will be using the Nemo Hornet Osmo Elite one person. Really excited about this tent. I've done a whole video on why I've chosen this tent. In short, I loved my Lightweight Illusion Solo that I had for most of the PCT, but I wanted something double walled because it is a lot wetter on the AT, which is why I've opted for this. It's also super lightweight and I love it. I'm excited to use it. With the Nemo Hornet tent, I'll be using a selection of tent stakes, nothing fancy, just my MSR ones that came with my MSR Hubba and a few MSR groundhogs. I've never had any problems with the stakes, so sticking with these. And for below my tent, I will be using what you can see here, which is just a piece of Tyvek. Love Tyvek, super durable, protects the bottom of your tent. It's also really handy to have on a hike in general because I always just throw it down, have brakes on it, so love a piece of Tyvek. And moving on to my sleep system, I will be using the Enlightened Equipment 10 Fahrenheit Enigma quilt in wide. Exactly the same one that I had on the PCT. It kept me warm on some of the coldest nights I've ever had out there, so no problems with that. Love it, excited to use that. I will also be using the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite in women's, same one I had on the PCT, still going, and it does not have a hole thanks to Gossamer Gear 1/8 pad. This thing is like ridiculously light, and I know for a lot of three hikers this will seem a bit overkill to have two sleeping pads, but it is so worth it. I didn't have a single hole in my Thermarest in over 2,000 miles of hiking. Just very light, also can make a sit pad, and yeah, I just really like it, so I'll be taking that. This is not the same one I had in the PCT. Sadly, the original did get ripped to shreds because I got caught in a blowdown in Washington. Is it bad? Is it bad?
Don't tell them, folks.
Oh
don't
no,
tell her.
I don't want to look. Is it bad?
Don't tell her.
Oh, I'm sad. Look at it. But it did make it really far and I really loved having it, so go with that again. I will be using the same pillow as the PCT. This is the Sea to Summit Aeros Ultralight Regular. Did the job, not the comfiest thing in the world, and to be honest, I like to have it, but I also, if it's warm enough to take my puffy off, I'll use my buff, stuff my puffy in the buff, tie it on both ends, and I really like having that. But yeah, I wouldn't go without this either, so taking that. I also forgot to mention that I'll be taking the same sleeping bag liner. This here is a Silker Fox. I don't even know if Amazon does them anymore. It was super cheap, super light, and pretty much I just use it to keep my quilt clean. Carried this for the whole PCT and I will be carrying it again. Just a note about all these, I will not be taking all the stuff sacks, it's just in for demonstration purposes. And for the tent, I will be using my Thermarest pump stack to store the tent in. I did the same thing on the PCT and it was really handy, saved me bringing the stuff sack to the tent, and I was already going to have the pump sack, so that was handy enough. My backpack of choice will be the Osprey Asia 58 litre without the brain. It is on now, but I'll be taking it off. Again, had this on the PCT. Osprey are an amazing company, and I had a bit of wearing at the back where this started to rip and they replaced it for me. So this is still the original one, so I've got a new one that is ready to go for the AT. So I love this pack. feels really comfortable for me, so that is what I'm sticking with. Moving on to my cook system and water system, I will be taking the MSR Titan. This is the same one that I had on the PCT. It's a little bit dented, but it's still working great. Love it. It's pretty lightweight. It's a good size. I love the way it has a little spout. I will be using the trusty old BRS stove. This thing was like 15 quid on Amazon. It is super light, and I had this for the whole PCT. I've used it for loads of trips before. It's still going strong. Gonna take it on the AT. Really, really love it. My only bit of advice would be it's not the best in wind, so when I attach it to my gas canister, I will always put a wee bit of tin foil around the outside just to keep the wind out, and I swear by that. So that's what I'll be taking for my cook system. Also lighter, little tiny smidge of sponge, and that is that for my cook system. I will also be bringing this Huel container. It's really handy. It's a screw top lid, and I make my Huel savoury meals with it, which I really like, and I can also make cups of tea in it. I can cold soak in it. Just a really, really handy container. Again, something I had on the PCT which I really liked. And this time, something that's quite new to me is I'm going to be taking, it's just a bottle. It's a Daily Greens bottle. Huel does Daily Greens, which I had a lot on the PCT and I really liked having it. Yeah, the only thing about it was really, really annoying to put into a smart water bottle. So I am going to bring the bottle that comes with it because it's light enough and I need a water bottle anyway. And the handy thing about this is that I can also make protein shakes, because I don't know where it is. I also have one of those little whisk balls. So when I want to make protein shakes, I can put it in here with the whisk ball. So multi-purpose, can also carry my water, can fit in my shoulder strap pocket. So I'm gonna give it a go. Worst case scenario, I could always put it in a hiker box. I will also be bringing a spork or spoon of some form. Sadly, I lost my titanium long-handled spork by Sea to Summit, which is really sad. But I hope to replace that, so that's probably what I'm going to go with again. Or I had an MSR fold-up one near the end, which I don't know where it is. I'm not doing very well with keeping track of my spoons, but I'll go for either one of those. And for food, I will be putting it in this dry bag, and I also have, is it in here? Yes, my homemade bear hanging kit, which consists of a little bag that I'll put rocks in to make a rock bag. I've got my cord and a carabiner so I can do a bear hang. For my water system, I feel like this is one thing I'm really pleased with. I feel like I really have my water system down and I wouldn't change it. So I will be using the trusty old Sawyer and a Canuck bag, 2 litre Canuck bag. And the best thing about this is I have the attachment. This is the coupling. Trust me, this will be the best $3 you ever spend. How this works is you can screw it onto the end of your Sawyer. You can then attach this to your bottle or to your Canuck or whatever you're using, and then you can attach the other bottle, screw it to the top, and then you can hang it in a tree and gravity filter. And honestly, it is the best thing ever. And even if you don't want a gravity filter, it means that you're not going to knock it over because it's attached to both sides. So I absolutely swear by this. So I'll have, yeah, that water bottle, 2 litre Canuck bottle, and for an emergency I also have a 1 litre Sawyer bag, which I know everyone says that these are terrible and they break, but like I had one for the entire PCT and it didn't break on me once, so I trust it as a backup. Worst case scenario, I can always get a smart water bottle if needs be. I am also hoping to try the Canuck 1 litre Vespa, I think you call it. I'm going to flash up an image here. I'm just hovering over about to order it because I want to give that a go rather than using smart water bottles. If you don't know what a smart water bottle is, it is basically, this isn't one, this is Life Water, more or less the same. It's pretty much just a plastic bottle that you get in any supermarket, and it's just a really nice size. I really like it because it can, you know, slide into your side pockets, slide into your shoulder strap. Really handy, nice size. Okay, that is that for my cook system and water system. Oh, actually, one thing that I didn't mention about my water system, it's not on this bag now, but I have a shoulder strap pocket, which I also swear by, really handy. I can put my little drinking bottle there, love it. So that's how I'm gonna do that. Moving on to the next section, I'm going to talk about clothes. So I use one big dry bag that I put all my clothes in, and my quilt will be in here too. And I just like to have everything that I want to keep dry in one dry bag in here, which I should also mention, I will be using this as a pack liner as well. I'm just really paranoid to keep everything dry because I know it's going to be wet out there. Yeah, this is like different than I used on the AT. I used Nyla Flume pack liners, or sorry, on the PCT, and I honestly didn't really like them. I found they ripped really easily, they didn't last long, they were not durable. I kept having to replace them. They weren't reliable, even though everyone seems to love them, they just weren't for me. So this a little bit heavier, but more durable. And yeah, everything, the quilt especially, I want to keep dry, and my warm clothes, sleep clothes, are going to be in here, inside the pack liner, inside the bag, so hopefully everything can stay dry. So I'm just going to lift out stuff and go through my clothes. So for a hiking top, I'll probably bring this. It's very, very, very light. It folds away to nothing. This is just a hiking top. I can wash it in rivers if needs be. I will also be wearing an Outdoor Research Echo hoodie. Absolutely love this material. It's very similar to the one I had on the PCT, which was a Rab Pulse. They are discontinued now, and I've been searching ever since to find something with a similar material. So I absolutely love this. I love the colour. It feels really nice and soft. So this is, yeah, I'm so excited about this. I really like it. On my bottom half, I will probably most likely be just hiking in these plain shorts that I got Primark for, like, these cost like nothing at all. They were very cheap, but they'll do the job. And if it's cold, I have these long bottoms from Decathlon. Nothing fancy. Had these on the PCT. They did the job, so they're coming again. Okay, and now for layering up. If it gets cold, I will be wearing this Northridge Merino base layer. It is exactly the same as the one I had on the PCT, only in a different colour. I had to replace it because the other one ended up with loads of holes on it, because that thing was years and years old, like really, really old, falling to bits, but I loved it, so I got the same one. On top of that, I can wear my core hoodie. Also had this on the PCT. It's quite old now and a bit worn, but still some life in it. It's very, very light. Ooh. And for being so light, it's pretty warm, so I can layer that on top. Some of you will recognize these. This is when I turn into the Michelin woman. These are my nature hike puffy trousers. I would never ever do a through hike without these, because these just make me so happy. I absolutely love them. I don't care what they weigh, they just are so nice in the evening, keep me warm when I'm sitting around camp or sleeping. Absolutely love them. I'm a very cold sleeper, so these get worn a lot. And to go with those on the PCT, I had down socks, which you'll know I absolutely loved. I'm taking a risk and I am leaving them at home because yeah, I camped at the Grand Canyon over Christmas, and it got down to, like, yeah, one of the coldest temperatures I've ever camped in, and I didn't have them. And I actually have, okay, you might laugh at this, but these are like Christmas Grinch socks that my auntie got me for Christmas. They're fluffy and they're surprisingly light and surprisingly warm, and yeah, they kept my feet warm. when I was camping at the Grand Canyon, so they're a good bit lighter, so I am gonna risk it and I'm gonna take these as my sleep socks. Okay, so going back to the top half, then I have my puffy. This is a Decathlon 4-class down puffy. This thing is like really budget, and it always seems to pop up on the Halfway Anywhere surveys, and you'll see loads of people from Europe wearing these because they're affordable, very light, ooh, and they keep you warm. So I really like it. Again, had it on the PCT. Yeah, love it. For my hat, I will be taking this absolutely stinking, disgusting looking mountain equipment hat that I also had in the PCT. I don't think it's been washed since, so I'm gonna have to give that a wash. It is very lightweight, it looks hideous, I don't really like it, but it keeps my head warm and I'm bringing it again. Almost forgot about this. This is my Patagonia Houdini, another thing I had on the PCT. Really love it, super light, and it's just really nice to start the day wearing it because there's a massive bee. Did you see the size of that bee? It was like right up my face. Where was I? Yeah, so Patagonia Houdini jacket, really love it. And yeah, it's one of those things that it's really light, but you get a surprising amount of heat on it, and especially if it's like just windy and you know you're going to heat up during the day, I can just throw this on, or if I'm taking a break. So big fan of this. That's coming again. Another thing that I like to start the day in, and this is in the waterproofs category, is these waterproof trousers. These are so light and they fold away to like absolutely nothing. And yeah, I had a pair on the PCT. They did get absolutely wrecked. Not the most durable things in the world, but they did make it to the very end. And if I can get that out of these, I'll be happy. And again, I rarely wore it for rain, but I would stick them on in the morning if it's a cold morning and just start the hike in them and then just peel them off later. So I really did enjoy having these. And while we're on waterproofs, this is my Ron Hill rain jacket, Gore-Tex rain jacket. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. I got it like on like a closing sale, so it was not very expensive. It's very light, it's waterproof, and yeah, I think I'm probably going to need it a lot more on the AT than I needed it on the PCT. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I do really like it. Okay, so if you watch my PCT videos, you'll know that our trail family was a big fan of having a town shirt. Something totally unnecessary. All you ultralighters are going to be cringing at me right now, but I will be bringing a fun town shirt, because why not? This is one that my brother got me for Christmas, so I kind of have to take it now, and it is ridiculous. It is like a shark, a dinosaur riding a shark with sunglasses. I don't really know what else is going on there. It's pretty mad, but I want to take it. It's fun. So I will suffer the weight penalty of that just cause it's fun. I'll be bringing a buff, and for gloves, I'll be bringing my Z-Pax gloves, nothing fancy there. I will also be bringing these 4-class Decathlon waterproof over mitts. Never used them before. You just put them over your gloves, and I'm kind of hoping this system works to keep my hands warm, because that's something I really struggle with, is my hands. They get really cold, and I do not like that. And I also have these little fingerless gloves, which I really like because these are just handy, because I can, you know, put my tent up and down because they're fingerless and keep my hands warm at the same time. That might seem overkill, it's a lot of gloves, but yeah, like I said, my hands get really cold. And that's all just gonna stuff back into here. Okay, let's talk about footwear, because this is obviously something really important, and I have a real system now when it comes to footwear. After many miles hiking in this system, I'm really pleased with it. So I will be wearing Ultra Lone Peaks. I have a new pair sitting at home. Thankfully I didn't wear them today because as I was walking here I slipped in the mud 3 times and fell on my bum in a big puddle of mud, and these current shoes that I wear now are absolutely covered in mud. These are also Lone Peaks. As you can see, absolutely disgusting. So my system for the Lone Peaks is that I go for a half a size bigger in the ones that I'm going to be doing long distance hiking in, and I also discovered on the PCT that I changed out the insoles to the Dr. Scholl's Walk on Air insoles. This was an absolute game changer for me because if you know Lone Peaks, you'll know that they're zero drop, kind of minimal, and if it's really stony, eventually I found my feet were starting to hurt, like just the pressure on them. And I had been talking about maybe trying insoles, and I walked into a place, there was a hiker box at the top, there was Dr. Scholl's insoles cut to the size of my shoe. It was like, you know, they say the trail provides, and that was one of the most amazing things that happened, and that changed it for me, and I didn't complain about my feet really again after that. So the insoles, and I changed the laces out. I use lock laces. Best like $7 you'll ever spend. I absolutely love having lock laces. Pretty much turns your shoes into like slip-on shoes. So for breaks, it's really easy to just pull them on and off. You don't have to tie laces. Your laces aren't going to come undone, and it also, like, it doesn't slip. So as soon as you tighten them, like, it'll stay like that. So I swear by this setup, for me, works really, really well. I am really excited to try these new, these are the Ultragam ankle gaiters. Really love the pattern. I thought I'd try these for a change. I love my Dirty Girl gaiters. I was due a change. They have a lot of miles on them. They did well. Yeah, I just actually preferred the pattern of some of the Ultragam ones, so I thought I'll give that a go. And they go really nice with my new Ultras. For socks, I'll be wearing the Darn Toughs. Again, something I had in the PCT, and they were great. So I'll have 2 pairs that I'll alternate between, and I will also carry Injinji toe liners. A lot of people swear by these for stopping blisters. I never really had too many blisters. Occasionally I wore these, not often, but I'm bringing them along anyway because, yeah, I might need them. I will also be bringing camp shoes. Nothing fancy. I have found in the past that the cheapest flip-flops or sandals or whatever are way lighter than hiking sandals, even the ones that are advertised as being ultralight. These cost like, I don't know, £10, if that, less I think, and they're very, very light. They're similar to the ones I had on the PCT, and they really did the job. It's just really nice to be able to change your shoes at the end of a long day of hiking, air out your feet. One thing I didn't mention with clothes is I'm also going to be getting mesh bug pants because I am really, really paranoid about ticks and Lyme's disease. I know that it's quite common on the AT, and I don't care how stupid I look, I'm gonna wear the bug pants over my shorts if I'm not wearing my long trousers, because I just want to try and avoid ticks as much as possible. I'll be treating my clothes as well, so if you have any other suggestions, do let me know. And in a similar vein, I'll be bringing my Sea to Summit head net for mosquitoes. This thing's really light. I did start off with the Smidge one, which this is what the bag's from, and I thought it was terrible. The colour of it made it really hard to see out, and everyone who had Sea to Summit ones I was really jealous of, and I did eventually find a Sea to Summit one in a hiker box in Washington, so I traded it out and that's what I've got here. So I'll be taking that along. For underwear, I'll just be bringing 4 pairs of Tesco supermarket underwear. I found that I do have a pair of merino underwear, and when I weighed them, they actually, one pair of merino underwear weighed like nearly the same weight as 4 pairs of just supermarket lightweight underwear. So I decided I'd rather go with 4 pairs than 1 merino pair, so that's what I'm doing. It's kind of similar again to what I had on the PCT, and that worked well for me. On to toiletries. Well, let's start with, I'll be bringing the same little travel towel. It is just a Decathlon travel towel that I cut into a quarter. Kind of looks a bit disgusting, but it'll do the job. This is my little toiletries bag. I'll just run through a few things that I'll have in there. I've got my sun cream in here, lip balm. I have this little tiny folding brush, which I've used a lot, which I really like to have. My hand sanitizer. I do have a little tiny Swiss Army knife, just this wee one. Really like it. The little scissors are great for cutting your nails as well. It's got a little knife on it, really handy. I've got some floss, which is also handy for sewing with if needs be. Some ibuprofen. I also have a menstrual cup, really handy. Yes, and one thing that I would never go without is earplugs. More so because I'm really paranoid at night, so I like to have earplugs in, because otherwise every single stick that breaks, I'm like shooting up, freaking out. So even though it's probably quite good to be aware of surroundings when you're camping in case a bear comes in the camp, but I will never sleep otherwise if I don't have earplugs. So toothbrush, toothpaste, all the usuals. And that brings me nicely on to the poop kit, what you've all been waiting for. I will be using the Juice of Spades #2 trial, aptly named. This thing does what it says on the tin. It's really handy, super light. I will also be using a little portable bidet, again something I used on the PCT, and yeah, you can put it on the end of a little bottle. Yeah, I'll also be bringing wet wipes, toilet paper in there, and I will also be using a cooler cloth. Ladies, on these 3 hikes, pretty much everyone has them, everyone knows about them now. Instead of using toilet paper when you do a pee, you can use this here, which is an antimicrobial, it's like silver infused, copper infused, I can't remember. It's great, really like it. Hang it on the outside of your pack. Wouldn't hike without. This is one that I actually got made by Cooler Cloth at Trail Days on the PCT, and I got a photograph that I took on it. This is a photo of one of my favourite PCT signs on a tree, so that's what that is. Speaking of bodily fluids, I will also be bringing a trusty old little, it's a glass cleaner. I use this for blowing my nose. I can give it a wash in rivers, obviously away from people getting water downstream, whatever. Really handy, like having this, because if you're doing a 7-day section, the amount of tissues you'd need, my nose runs a lot when I hike, so this is just a little glass cleaner in Decathlon for like £1 or something, so really like having this. That brings me nicely on to my first aid kit. I will be having in this also a little sewing kit, which pretty much is like a bit of cardboard with wraparounds, just some thread. I've got the needle in there, and that's handy. And in here I've got a mixture of plasters, emergency water treatment tablets, ibuprofen, all the different sort of things. I've got like different gauze and tapes and antibacterial wipes, all that kind of stuff. Soda cream, yeah, and a spare O-ring for my Sawyer, and lots of different things. So it's quite small, quite minimal, but yeah, it's done me in the past, so hopefully it'll do me again, but hopefully I don't need it. So talking about repairing myself, this is my tent repair kit, which has that tenacious tape, which is really great. It's like a see-through tape that's really good for taping over things. I've fixed a rip in my quilt, my puffy, and my down trousers have all used it. Just really handy, clear tape for fixing tears. And also I have a patch for my thermarest in case I need it. Okay, just in case I forget it, I will also be bringing my Ombre's sunglasses. They actually trail magicked us on the PCT. It's probably one of the best trail magics I've ever had, because these are very expensive. I absolutely love them. I wouldn't hike without them. They are armless, so they just feel really nice and light in your head. You can wear them, throw them down, if you're not wearing them, so really like it. Very, very lightweight, very nice to hike in. I'll be taking them again. Moving on to electronics, let's start with this one. I had a Garmin Mini 1 on the PCT, which I borrowed from a friend, and this time I bought my own. I bought this second hand on eBay. This is the InReach Mini 2. I saw no point in buying a new one because it's one of those things that probably doesn't get used an awful lot. Well, hopefully it won't be used for SOS, but I do use it for tracking and also the occasional Garmin to Garmin message for other hikers. So I wouldn't hike without one. Very important to have. I will also be bringing an AirTag. If you watched my PCT series, you'll know that the airline lost my luggage, and if it wasn't for this little thing, I don't think I would have ever got it back, and that was at the very start of the trail, so I am definitely taking this again. A couple of Sea to Summit carabiners. I will be bringing iPhone 13 mini, which is an upgrade from last time because my last phone fell out of my bag while I was cycling and got ran over by a car. So got this. I'll be filming on the GoPro Hero 11. Hopefully this one lasts the whole trail. I went through 3 cameras on the PCT, which was not ideal. It was not my fault. They just kept breaking. So hopefully this one will do the trick. That's what you're watching me from. I'll be bringing this here 4-class head torch. I have got lots of my friends on these head torches now because they are absolutely amazing. They're super lightweight, rechargeable, last for ages. They've got the red light, they tilt up and down. This is my little container with my spare GoPro battery. I'm probably going to bring 2 spare, and my spare SD cards and a little screen protector in case I have to replace it, because I've had to do that a few times. I will be using an SD reader. If you're interested, I'll post a video above here that shows my system for editing and filming on trail and how I do it. I'll be bringing a dual USB-C plug as well, which I need to order, so I'll flash up the screen what I'm going to be getting. I'm changing everything to USB-C, so I've got new cords. I'll be bringing a micro USB to USB-C, USB-C to USB-C, and an iPhone to USB-C. I will also be bringing my AirPods, my Apple AirPods, because occasionally near the end of the trail, me and Dr. Dynamite got really into listening to the Ologies podcast, the sciencey podcast. I have this idea that we could have one each, like one AirPod each, because sometimes I would be drifting behind him and then I get really frustrated because I would miss part of it and then I have to hike up and then catch up. So I'm going to give that a go. It is another thing to have to charge, and it is extra weight because I will also be bringing, and these pretty much weigh nothing, but my old wired headphones, just because I'll be editing every night, and if my AirPods run out, I won't be able to do that, so it's really important that I have a backup. I'll be bringing 2 power banks this time, 2 10,000 milliamp power banks. You might be wondering why I'm bringing 2 and not just a bigger one. This is something I've heard a lot of people recommending, is it's better to have 2 10,000 ones, and the overall weight, it isn't really that much difference to bring 2. It'll be handy. I can charge them at different times, charge them together, and also, yeah, it was cheaper just to buy another 10,000 than 20,000. So this is the Anchor one. The other one is on its way. I'll post a picture of that. I will not have my solar panel this time, which makes me really sad because you'll know that I love my solar panel on the PCT, but the green tunnel doesn't make for good solar panel charging, so going with 2 power banks. For my camera, I'll be bringing just my trusty old little tripod. This thing's really cool, folds out like that. Really like that. I forgot to mention this little tiny thermometer that I'll be bringing because I am a big weather nerd. I think that is all for electronics, so I'm just going to go through a few extra things. My trekking poles. These are the Fizan compact trekking poles. Amazing. These are still going. I've had to replace the tips because the lava rock in Oregon absolutely destroyed them. but still going strong. Love them, really lightweight, wouldn't change them. I will also be bringing something new to me. This is something very new to me. I've never hiked with an umbrella before. This is the Gossamer Gear umbrella. I will post a picture of the type of umbrella it is because I can't really remember. It's still in the bag because I've only just got it. And I have the strap so it can attach to the backpack. There seems to be a bit of a love-hate thing with umbrellas on the AT, but I've read a lot of stories of people saying how much they love them, and I just know it, being from Northern Ireland, it is so miserable to hike in the rain all day, especially if you want to take a break. So I'm really hoping that this will bring a bit of relief so when it's raining, and if not, I can always post it onwards. It's going to be a bit of a trial run. I'm excited to try it, and I think that is pretty much everything. Yeah, like I said, a lot of this is already very tried and tested. The tent is probably the biggest change, and I haven't had a chance to test it yet, so hopefully I get a chance to test it out before I hit the trail. That would be very sensible. Yeah, the umbrella's new, just a few wee things here and there, but overall I'm feeling pretty confident with this gear. I know it's not the lightest gear list in the world, it's also not the heaviest, but I know that this stuff has done good for me in the past, and I do like my luxuries. I like to have my camera, and I like to have my camp shoes, so I will suffer the weight penalty for those. Yeah, if you have any questions about any of this gear or the AT, do let me know and I'll try and answer them. I think that is all. I will do a follow-up video after the AT, let you know how I got on with all this. I'll also be sure to post a few links to past gear videos if they're of any interest to you. And yeah, wish me luck. Next month I will be on the trail with this gear, so you'll see it tested out in the field. Anyway, that's enough waffling for now. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. I am just jumping in because I forgot to mention one very important piece of gear. This is my Bumbag. Nothing fancy, I got it in a gas station. I would never hike without a Bumbag because it is so handy for snacks and your phone, your passport, important stuff. So that is the Bumbag of choice. Bye!